Well, the doors that IBC win opened for you are just phenomenal. The experiences you've had, the blues cruise. How many times is it, just the once or once?
3 times.
3 times on the legendary Rhythm and Blues cruise.
Yes.
You've traveled all over the world, Norway, Switzerland, America, all over the place. Do you find yourself still learning out there? I mean, for example, Taya, I watch you at festivals, and I see you locked in on the drummers. Is it a constant learning when you guys are on the road?
It is. It really is. Like you said, at festivals, when other drummers are playing, I always try my hardest, to learn from, the older, drummers, and I take what I can. I take what I can learn from them, And even after the shows, like in Canada, this one drummer, he actually showed me how to twirl my stick. And before that, I had no clue what to do, but because of him and me, asking about it,
right?
I learned how to twirl my stick, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
But I take stuff like that, and I try to implement it in what we do.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I'm still learning. We're all still learning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And we've even learned on on this little trip that that we're on right now. When we get back home, we're gonna have a good bit of time off, and Kyle and I are gonna sit down and learn how to figure out new ways to make our show better.
Right.
And along with Taya, we're all gonna sit down and we're all gonna come up with some new music and try to make our show as good as we can possibly get it.
Right.
Learning from all the bands that we've seen and made friends with from this year.
Yeah.
So it's always
still stuff that we do on stage that sometimes doesn't work.
Yeah.
We also need to work on perfecting our little smoke trick.
Sure. Yeah.
To make sure it just goes off every single time. This is you learn stuff every time.
That's right. That's right. Have you had some glitches with the smoke trick?
Yeah.
Sometimes you hit it and we're switching it like
Sometimes we hit it absolutely nothing. Sometimes we hit it. There'll be fire.
Yeah.
Fire and a lot of smoke.
Yeah, we burn some pans now. I'm not gonna lie, but it's we're gonna try to perfect that when we get back home.
Right.
And hopefully next year we'll every time we hit that switch, it's perfect. But it's always learning.
Sure. Oh yeah. Who are some of the musicians out there that, as you've traveled, have been very generous in sharing lessons with you guys and being influential?
Super Chicken has to be one of my favorites. Every time we meet him, he's always cool. He's always down to talk to us. He just supports us a lot, and we support him a lot. He's a fun character.
Yeah, definitely. Shamika Copeland. She told us that we're her nieces and nephews, and we've adopted her as our blues aunt.
How sweet.
Also, Michael Burks.
Oh yeah.
He, him and his whole entire band, adopted us, and before his passing, every time we would get together on shows, it was always a ball. They would always teach us new things. But
is there a close bond between Mississippi blues musicians? Is there something? I mean, you folks are from Tupelo, Mississippi. Do you feel like the Mississippi musicians stick together, have something to?
I mean, there's always a bond or a thought that runs through your head when you meet another Mississippi artist. You're like, okay, we're from the same place. Let's get down.
And that bond grows the farther we are from Mississippi.
Sure.
Right.
The farther you are, you're like, oh, you're from Mississippi.
Back in Mississippi,
people like Grady Champion. Previous IBC
winner.
Absolutely. Anytime we just ran into him the other week.
Okay.
And it's great. Great bond. We're always really good friends, and we always try to make it a point to say hey and talk and have a good time with each other. Eden Brent's another one. Every time we see Eden, she's a magnificent artist, and Super Chicken as well.
Of course.
And, but like I said, the farther we are, especially if we're international, going overseas, as soon as we see somebody that's from Mississippi, oh man, we've got to go meet them. Like Mississippi artists have got to stick together in this. But it's always fun.
Well, speaking of Mississippi artists, your new record now, you've had 4 records now,
Right.
3 with Northern Blues, and two with Northern Blues,
yes.
that's right. And now you have your 4th one out called Mississippi Hill Country. And on this record, you've sort of delved deeper into that Mississippi Hill Country sound and rhythms, haven't you? What was the impetus, or what was the reason for that direction?
This was probably the start of Mississippi Hill Country came before our 3rd album, The Game. We were on our way to France, riding in the car to get to the airport, and that was the first time that any of us has ever heard of hill country music.
Okay.
So it was early in the morning, like maybe 3, 4 in the morning,
Right.
and
Everyone
everyone was asleep, and my dad was just scanning through the radio stations, found a good blues station, and the next thing we know, we hear this beat, just come in out of nowhere, and mind you, we're all asleep except for Dad.
Yep.
But as soon as I heard the music drop, I instantly woke up, asked him to turn it up, please, and asked him how much did I miss, who's the artist. He said he don't know. He cranked it up. Everyone else was awake.
Yeah.
The music was just, I can't describe how amazing the music was. And at the end, the radio DJ said it was Junior Kimbrough, All Night Long.
Oh yeah.
And so and then he said, he was from Holly Springs.
Yeah.
So we were amazed how we did not know about this person,
Right.
when he was from, so close to us.
Right. 50 miles away.
Yeah, Tupelo from Holly Springs is roughly what, an hour, 45 minutes. Yeah. And so when we got back from our trip in France, we decided we were going to find out more about hill country music. That's when we found out about
R.L. Burnside.
R.L. Burnside.
Okay.
And before then, we knew we were friends with Cedric Burnside.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
But
Sure.
we didn't know about R.L. Burnside. So Jesse May Hemphill, Kenny Brown. There you go. McDowell.
Mississippi.
Fred
Sure.
McDowell. And we started listening to all these Mississippi hill country artists, and we just decided we want to go in this direction.
Right.
So we had one Mississippi hill country track on our 3rd album, and that was called Washing Clothes.
Right.
Had an amazing success with that song
Yeah.
on the road and through the radio. So this 4th one, we wanted to go even deeper. I want to say we have maybe 4 or 5 hill country themed songs in there. And for the 5th one, I want to go even deeper. I want at least half of them to be some hill country.
Right.
But
now, for the people who are watching this and listening, what constitutes a hill country sound?
It's just got a certain juke to it.
Yeah. It's
there's really no chord changes in hill country music. It's only one set beat, and it repeats itself over and over. If you did it right, it's almost trance-like.
Yeah.
You won't care that there's any changes or the music stays exactly the same.
Yeah,
Right.
for me, like every 2 times you play it, it's never the same.
Never the same.
It's like for me when I'm playing bass, I just can go wherever I feel sound good.
Right.
And it all, if you got your mind set on that style of blues, it's gonna fit, and you're just making good music. But you're freestyling the whole thing.
That's right. Sure. And as a drummer, what did you have to learn to make this successful? To make this sound successful?
For me, playing hill country, the beat has to be real tight.
Yeah.
Me and Kyle have to stick really tight. That's kind of what I stick to when I'm playing hill country. That's what I've learned. You have to hit them drums, but you got to stay in good tempo.
Did you have to take any lessons, or did you sit with anyone to give you some, like a Cedric Burnside, to sort of show you some techniques?
Cedric Burnside, I would love for him to, I would love to sit down and have him show me some stuff, but I haven't taken any lessons. I took lessons when I first started, but that was only for like 2 months. And I was out of lessons, and I've been learning from here ever since.
In our experience, hill country blues is the absolute hardest to learn.
Right.
When we didn't know it at the time, but when we first started as a band, we actually tried a hill country type song by a guy named Willie King. And we love him as an artist, and we tried to copy a song from him, and the music was pretty much hill country based.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do it. We
Right.
got it note for note.
Yeah.
Note for note, it was nice.
Everything, I was doing the bass
Yeah,
line.
she was doing what the drummer was doing. I was doing, you know, note for note. But
we found out that it's not just the music; you have to feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you don't feel it, you can be playing.
Right.
And
It doesn't
everything
groove.
is. I mean,
Doesn't
everything is
finish.
there, but there's something not there.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So we
Yeah.
kept playing with it, and then we made one of our own originals.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, from us, you know, building it from the bottom, we could feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Started juking, and when we make up,
able to do that.
yeah,
Right. Right.
when we make up new songs, you know, if it's rocking, we'll sit there and just rock it for hours and
Yeah,
hours
yeah.
and hours. It's locked in our head,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy how we playing everything right, but
Yeah.
just something was missing.
Yeah. Does that come with maturity that helps you
Yes.
play it?
Yeah.
You know, like because you guys have grown so much. Now, if you were given that, you'd be able to play it.
I think it might come from, you know, experience and
Yeah.
time, listening to the different varieties of music, and you know how they,
Mhm.
you know, they're
Yeah.
all different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it makes you, I guess, leaves you a little bit more open when
Yeah.
you're trying to learn and listen.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, from the very first time that we tried to, you know, learn the Willie King song, up until the point where we heard the Junior Kimbrough song,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was maybe 2.5 years,
Mhm.
2 years roughly. You know, in that time span, we listened to, you know, a whole bunch of different blues tunes.
Right.
And, you know, we performed a lot, practiced, you know,
Mhm.
even more so. And yeah, I definitely think experience had
We
the
tightened
biggest
up.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The biggest thing is knowing everyone in your band
Right,
well.
right,
You
right.
know, because everyone has to mesh.
Yeah.
It's you have to act as one when you do a hill country song.
Sure. Sure.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you know, experience and time.
Yeah.
Definitely helped.
How's the band matured over these 7 years?
It's matured a
A
lot.
lot.
The kind of music that we're making now, on our newest CD, a few of the songs are,
Yeah.
what would you say the genre? Almost R&B blues.
Sure. Sure. Ain't No Sunshine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ain't No Sunshine.
Yeah.
That was a remake.
Yeah. Right.
Just we become, you know, way tighter,
Yeah.
and we know where each other's where he wants to go or she wants to go.
Right.
Which allowed us to, you know, to do different
Mm-hmm.
styles of blues.
Mhm.
You know, from the last CD to this CD, we wouldn't have been able to do, you know, half of the music,
Yeah.
just because we hadn't matured enough musically to, you know, to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But on this one, you know, in the time span between the third one and the fourth one, we've all grown. This is like the fastest growth
Yeah. Yeah.
between the third and the fourth CD, and so
Yeah.
we were able to really do some different things and experiment with different styles of music to come up with the music for this one.
Nice.